Hello everyone, and welcome to a rather different setting. Welcome to my garden and my outdoor cinema. It actually is an outdoor cinema. It's a piece of fabric and we've got a projector up there. So midnight screenings with a beer, it's great. So I'm going to do the favourite films tag, and it's where you talk about 10 films which you really like, your 10 favourite films. And I have spelt favourite in the American way, I know. Now, I think if you ask somebody, what is the best film ever made, and what is your favourite film, I think you would give two different answers. So these are films that you might think people might not like, but you like them. So that's what I'm going to do for this one. So these are films that I really like. I'm a real film buff, and I think I've gone quite diverse, I hope. Now, picking just 10 was impossible. So these are not in order. I've tried to keep them quite diverse, so in terms of dates and genre. So yeah, gonna kick off with number 1. It is just a really beautiful little French movie. I love it. It's bittersweet, and it's like coming of age, and like the scene where he's been taken to jail is so beautiful and almost kind of tear-jerking, and the ending scene is brilliant. It's just a beautifully shot film, and it makes you feel good and happy. So that's why I'm picking 400 Blows as one of my favourites. Irreplaceable Peter Lorre. I saw this film and immediately Peter Lorre became my favourite actor. I think he was probably younger than me when he starred in this. He was early 20s, I think, and yeah, it's just well ahead of its time. This came out in 1931, but well ahead of its time, and it's basically about I think this was probably the first serial killer film, a film about a serial killer anyway. And directed by Fritz Lang, who did Metropolis, but it's a bit different to Metropolis, so I don't think it's the same. Kind of similar to Jaws, I think, because, I mean, there's no shark or anything, but it's about, there's a mystery killer killing off loads of people, and they're trying to find this monster. So yeah, if you're into kind of like serial killer films and monster films, and classic films, check them out. Now, I lent this to my brother, so I don't have it in hard copy at the moment, but come on, I had to pick The Blues Brothers. It is like the best film ever. Music's fantastic. The whole script is quotable and so funny. I just love John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, and it's kind of my kind of music as well. If you haven't seen it, it's fantastic, and is it quite weird for a girl to like it? It's a very boy film. Because I'm quite tomboyish, but is a Blues Brothers? It's not girly at all. It's quite one for the men, I think. Because I haven't come across many girls who like it, but I adore the Blues Brothers. Love it, love it. Now, I like a film that has a good ending, and when I say a good ending, not a happy ending, an ending that makes you, like, you walk out the cinema, or you'll sit at the end of the credits and you'll be like, feel a bit weird, or feel a bit like... This film was the first film that, literally, at the end, I was like... Probably my favourite twist ending in a film. It's absolutely, it's probably one of my favourite films. It's a French film starring Simone Signoret, who's my favourite actress, one of my favourite actresses, I love her. I don't want to give the plots away to all these films because I don't want to spoil it, but it's just incredible. It keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole way, and it keeps building you up, and then when the twist hits you, it's like Oh my god. And they did remake this, so, and I don't know if they kept the twist the same, if they did, but I would recommend watching this. If you're going to watch the remake, watch this one first. In fact, at the ending credits, they have a little note saying, please not tell your friends about the twist, because it will spoil it for them. And also, this is, trying to think of the story. Alfred Hitchcock desperately wanted the rights to this film, but he didn't get it, and Henri Clouzot got it, and Hitchcock was really pissed off. So and when he saw the twist and stuff, he thought it was a brilliant film. This came out in the mid-50s, and to sort of top that, he made Psycho with a twist ending to sort of kind of show up Clouzot. Bit of trivia for you, and yeah, so that's Les Diaboliques, and a fantastic film. That's so cliche. I know it's cliche, but I do love this film. I know it's it's considered like the best movie in every kind of like poll and all that, and some people would say it's overrated, but even if it is overrated, I do love it. I love Kevin Spacey, and in this he's fantastic. He won an Oscar, and he's just brilliant and very Jack Lemmon-like. Have you seen The Apartments? And Jack Lemmon, in fact, I think he based his performance of Lester on Jack Lemmon. Oh, I just love him, and he's quite hot in this as well. I'm sure most of you see it because it's quite a popular film, but I do. This is probably my most popular film on my list, but I do love it. It's beautiful. I had to pick this one. Robert Mitchum is one of my favourite actors ever. His voice and everything about him, just love him. And Night of the Hunter is my favourite film of his and his best performance. A good film noir, chiller, really creepy, and you know Love and Hate on the Knuckles. That was started because of this film, I think. Certainly it was made famous because of this film. And yeah, it's just a really good creepy oldie, and Robert Mitchum's in it, and he's just gorgeous and lovely, and chases children, tries to kill them, but he's still lovely. I've even got the t-shirt. See that? Isn't that cool? Another Night of Another Hunter, except this one's a bit more gruesome and a bit more out there. I picked 7. Now I do love David Fincher, and I was torn between Fight Club and 7, and I love both films equally. I've gone for 7 only because I don't think it's that well known as Fight Club, but I would pick Fight Club as a favourite film of mine. I do love Fight Club, but I think Fight Club's quite well known, so I think most people know of it. 7 is a fantastic murder mystery film. It's probably my favourite murder mystery film, and fantastic performances. And I'm not a really big Brad Pitt fan, to be honest with you. And to be honest, in this film he does annoy me a little bit. But apart from that, it's very clever storyline, and Kevin Spacey. Not to spoil it, but he's really, really good in it. You're not supposed to know that Kevin Spacey's in it. That's the whole twist. So yeah, check it out. I'm trying not to give the plots away because I don't want to spoil it to you. Now I'm a huge Ingmar Bergman fan, so I had to pick one of his films. I think my favourite film of his is Persona. It's really hard to describe this film. It's very unique. I've not seen another film like it, to be honest. And it's just, as you can see, it's won loads of awards, and it's been quoted as one of the greatest films ever made. But it's really hard to describe. It's just so unique, and and that's all I can say about it. I love it. It's just so different, and I think you need to kind of get Bergman's kind of work to get this, but I do love it. It's just hard to describe, if that makes sense. Now this one was quite a late discovery for me. I saw it last year, because I've always seen it when I walked in HMV. I'd always seen it, because it's got such an iconic cover. I always saw it and I thought, do I get it, do I not? And eventually I gave in and I got it, and it's just a really clever little gem. It's so quick, and one thing I love about this film is it gets into the storyline like that. I mean, the film starts like that. For example, I mean, I do love Psycho by Hitchcock. I do love Hitchcock, but for example in Psycho, it took so long to get to the shower scene, which is basically the kind of start of the film. And I mean, I know she had to kind of know that she was running away with money and all that, but I think the beginning did drag on a bit. But this one, it gets into it straight away, and it's quick and it's clever, and you can follow the story like that. Never drags. It's just a really good, fun, clever, quirky little film, and I've not seen many films like it. It's not the best film in the world, and it probably wouldn't win any Oscars or anything like that, but I just really like it, and I've got such a girl crush on Franca, which is a plus. So yeah, that's Run Lola Run, and it's really good to check it out. Now this film almost has the whole package for me. It's quirkiness, horror, serial killer, British, 60s. It's Peeping Tom, and it's I've picked it because I've not really seen another film like it, to be honest, and I'm not for remakes, but I'm surprised they haven't remade it yet. I'm surprised they haven't picked it up, because it came out in 1960, so I'm surprised that in the past 50 years they haven't picked it up and done an updated version of it, which I don't think they should, because I think the film's great as it is. But I think if they were going to remake it, Mark Lewis, even though I watched it back then, played by Carl Baum, Mark Lewis is supposed to be like really, really British, and Carl Baum wasn't. He spoke English in the film, obviously, but he had a sort of German accent, that loose sort of German accent, quite a sexy German accent, to be honest with you. But if they were going to remake this, I think Mark Lewis is Benedict Cumberbatch completely. I mean, just like kind of like very charming, very smart, very handsome, but quite a sort of dark side. And I think Benedict could bring it off like amazingly. But if you're into psychology, which I am, and it really gets into the mind, because the serial killer is the protagonist in this, in a way, and so it kind of makes you think of the mind of the serial killer, and it's just really different, a really quirky film. If you like kind of 60s and British horror and something a bit different, you should check this out too.
Wow, am I feeling good, man? Let me say this now. Here and now, let's get this straight. Boogaloo, baby, I made it big, because I gave it the Latin beat. You know, child, I'm kind of hard to beat. Just commence your feet to skate. Pick up your arms and make it shake.